loves, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing really well. If you guys haven't heard the news yet because you don't follow me on my family channel, then you might not know that my husband and I are expecting baby number 2. If you guys would like to see how we announced it to our family and how my husband feels about it, and just kind of more of a detailed pregnancy update, definitely go head over to our channel. It is called A Peek with the Montes. The link will always be down below in the description box, just in case if you guys do want to check that out. I highly suggest that you guys go and watch those 2 videos. I will actually also be leaving direct links to both of those videos down below in the description box, and I'll even put little cards up here. In those videos, we just go into detail about the beginning of our pregnancy journey. If you guys follow me on this channel, then you most likely have watched my miscarriage video. So we definitely discuss how my pregnancy has been going after experiencing a loss. And my husband also opens up about how he's dealing with it. So if you guys are interested in that, definitely go and check those 2 videos out. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. I'd love for you to join our little family, so definitely go ahead and subscribe. And if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. So for today's video, it's going to be broken down into 2 parts. The first part is going to be me telling you guys how I found out that I was pregnant, and the second one is going to be a first trimester recap and just kind of chatting and chismeando with you guys as to how I have been feeling. So the way that I found out I was pregnant was actually either a Saturday or a Sunday morning. I was having breakfast with my mom and Anaya, and I had just cooked something super small for us. I made scrambled eggs, and as soon as everything was ready, I served like my mom and Anaya and myself. We just like started eating, and I remember when I took the first bite of my egg, I just thought that it was just so gross. It tasted like an over easy egg. It just like tasted like a raw egg. It didn't taste fully cooked, and it just absolutely grossed me out. So right away I mentioned it to my mom. Like I said out loud, I was like, ew, this egg is absolutely disgusting, Mom. Like it feels like I'm eating a raw egg. And after I said that, me and her kind of just looked at each other, because going back to Anaya's pregnancy, when I was pregnant with her, I could not stand eggs at all. I didn't want to smell them. I didn't want to see them. I did not want to be around them. Eggs were not allowed to be in our apartment. They were just absolutely gross to me, and I actually couldn't eat eggs my entire pregnancy with Anaya. Now I can. Yeah, so she looked at me because obviously she knew all of that, but she didn't say anything, and I didn't say anything either. I was just kind of, and I didn't end up eating the eggs, and right away I went upstairs. I told my mom, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. So I go upstairs, and I had a lot of pregnancy test in my bathroom because, as you guys know, Robert and I were trying to have a baby. But the funny thing about it is that during that time we were kind of taking a break from trying. We weren't using protection, but we were not so like, okay, we need to make a baby. That mentality that we had been the past few months when we were trying to conceive and prior to having the miscarriage. The first month after my miscarriage, we did use protection, and we went a few weeks without making love because we didn't want like to expose my body to any infections that I might get. So, like I said, we were like not trying. I don't think we were stressing out about it either. We were kind of between like, okay, when are we gonna like start trying again? Or like, do I even want to try right now? I know I had those days where I told Robert, like, I'm not sure if I want a baby right now, if I want to wait. So that's a crazy thing. We got pregnant without trying, and often I hear a lot of women say that when they decide, okay, we're gonna take the pressure out of it, and they stop like stressing or like obsessing of the idea of it happening, that's when they end up getting pregnant. So yeah, so I was in the bathroom, I took out a pregnancy test. They were the 98 cents ones from Walmart, and I peed, I did my thing, I took the test, and there was a very faint line on it, but you could definitely see the line. So I figured that the line was really light because it was pretty early on when I took the test. I took the test almost like a whole week before my period was due. So after that, I grabbed the test and I did go downstairs and I told my mom, I just like showed her the test. I was like, well, look. And she's like, oh my God, like you're pregnant. I knew it, because a few days before then, I had also mentioned to her that I was feeling so tired, but I thought I was feeling really tired because I had just started going to the gym. So I figured that like my body hadn't gotten used to that, like that extra exercise that I was getting in. So I thought that's why I was feeling tired, but no, it ended up being because I was pregnant. I told her to not say anything to anyone, not even my dad. Slip up, and you definitely cannot tell my dad, because my dad, it will like slip out of him and he won't even notice. I kept taking a pregnancy test almost every other day since I had taken that initial test, and then from there the line did keep getting darker and darker, and obviously here we are now. I am 16 weeks pregnant and growing this little baby. So like I mentioned in the beginning, if you guys want to know a little bit more on this pregnancy and the beginning of it, because it was quite a bit of a journey leading us to where we are now. I haven't had any pregnancy complications as of now. The only thing is I do have subchorionic hemorrhaging. In the second video that we posted, I go more into detail on what that is and how we felt. So if you guys want to go check that out, or if you guys want to see how our family reacted to the news and how we told them, go out and check out those videos. But now I'm gonna move on and talk about my first trimester, how everything has been. So my very early on symptoms that I had before I actually found out that I was pregnant, or before it was confirmed that I was pregnant, I felt super hungry and super tired. Like I mentioned to you guys, I just thought it was because I started going to the gym again and my body just needed to get used to all that stuff. The other two things that I was feeling, I started to feel like I was gaining weight. Like I just felt bloated, and I felt like my boobs started to grow again. Not again, but they started to feel like more full. So those were just like the very, very early on pregnancy symptoms. But after I had a positive and maybe like a week or two had passed by, I started to get severe morning sickness. That is when I started to feel super nauseous, and I just could not keep anything down. It started with feeling nauseous, and then it went to throwing up, to literally not being able to keep anything down. Even water would make me super nauseous. It had to basically be ice cold water, and I'm still only drinking ice cold water to be able to drink the water. If it's room temperature, me da asco. Like I don't like it at all. And that's definitely been very different compared to an IS pregnancy, because with her, I feel like, yeah, I felt nauseous and I threw up a few times, probably like 3 or 4 times, but this time around I was throwing up like 3 to 4 times a day. I was basically throwing up everything that I was eating or drinking. The worst thing was beans, guys. Like frijoles de la olla, like whole beans. I remember I ate a bowl of beans with some cheese, and like once I finished eating that, I just went and I threw it up, and it felt so disgusting. I was freaking throwing up whole ass beans, and it just felt gross. So that's probably like the nastiest thing that I threw up. I also threw up cup of noodles. That was pretty gross too. So basically, once I went in for my first appointment, I told the doctor how much I was throwing up, and he did say that I I don't know how to pronounce it. I'll put it right here. So basically it's just excessive vomiting during pregnancy, and I remember I started to feel really weak from it, and my urine became so dark because I was getting so dehydrated. Like I would be drinking lots of fluids, but it wasn't enough to cancel out for what I was throwing up. Like my urine, it was really dark, and it was really hard for me to lighten up my urine. So I mentioned that to him, and he did decide to put a bag of fluids in me so I could just come back to life. So I could just get rehydrated. And then that's when he also prescribed me some medicine for my morning sickness. I do have a little heart issue, so for me it's really hard to, not hard, but I can only take certain types of medicine. I can't take anything that will like thin out my blood, so that limits me to what kind of medicine I can take and that it's safe for me to take. So I was prescribed Dramamine. I know a lot of women are either given Unisom, or there's another one, there's another big one. There's like these top two that they're most likely to prescribe to you, but I was stuck with Dramamine, which is morning sickness, and it's not as strong as the other two because my body can't tolerate that medication. So it did help though. I just had to make sure that I was taking the pill like right on time. I think it was like every 6 hours. I don't remember exactly, but I had to take it right on time because if I wouldn't, then I would just throw up. I didn't even want to go out because I was scared of just like driving and feeling like throwing up, or I have a NIAS. I was like, what do I do if I need to run to the bathroom to throw up? So I just stayed at home a lot more. I remember a few times where I tried going to the store, and I would make it probably like a mile out from the house, and like me daban ganas de vomitar. I just felt instantly nauseous, like I needed to throw up right there and then. So I had to like come back home, and I don't know, I would just quit on going out during the first trimester. But luckily right now that I'm in my second trimester, it has gone down, but I just randomly get it here and there, like at night or in the morning. Even during the day, it just randomly hits me. It's just not as bad as it was in the beginning. What did help me with the morning sickness was sparkling water, or like sparkling ginger ale, or like sparkling flavored water. That really helped. Ginger candy helped. If you guys don't know where you can find that, you can find it at Ross, Marshalls, TJ Maxx. You can also find some at Sprouts. At Sprouts they sell like the fresh ginger candy. That definitely really helped me a ton. And just sleeping, like if you can sleep, I just recommend sleeping and resting as much as you can. I would sleep whenever I had the extra help, but as you guys know, or you might not know, I have a 2-year-old, so she definitely keeps me up on my toes all day. So that was a little bit harder, but it was manageable, and honestly it goes by a lot faster than you think. Everyone would tell me that. All the moms that went through the whole morning sickness phase, that they all told me, they're like, don't worry, I know it feels like forever and it feels horrible, but it goes faster than you think. And it definitely did fly by. Now that I look back at it, at the moment it just freaking kills you. The other two things, these are both like minor things. My breasts have been sore since finding out that I was pregnant. Probably like a week after I found out, that's when my boobs started to just hurt. Like my nipples, they hurt really bad. They're just like really sore. With Anaya's pregnancy, my breasts were only sore in the very beginning, but right now sore this whole entire time. I'm kind of thinking maybe it has to do with my milk coming in. My mom did tell me that when she had my brother, her firstborn, that she wasn't able to nurse him because her milk didn't come in. And for me, my milk did come in. I feel like I had more difficulty breastfeeding. like latching her on, and then when I was pumping, I I didn't have much of a supply, but it was also just a very different time. I feel like this time around I am gonna have more support when it comes to breastfeeding, and hopefully I do have more of a supply, more milk coming in this time. Well, one more thing that I did want to say, my skin was really bad. It just recently started to get a little bit better, but it's still super textured. I have little hard bumps all over my skin right now. I mostly have them over here by my forehead. I know all of that is super hormonal, so I've been suffering with that. One thing that has helped me is the Origins clay mask. I originally started doing a peel off mask, like one of those black peel off masks. That I don't feel like it did much for my skin, but I noticed a difference with the Origins clay mask. As far as my cravings, they have also been very different. I am craving a lot more of spicy food and sour stuff. I specifically crave these adobada tacos that are like from this taco shop of where we used to live. It's like 40 minutes away from here. I'm craving those tacos with some onions, and I don't know why I said tacos. I'm craving those tacos with some grilled onions and like a grilled chile. I don't know what it's called, like chile de mano, chile verde. I've been craving that too, like to pair off with my tacos. Also, so the last thing that I wanted to end with is PGP. I feel like no one really talks about this, and I had never heard another mom talk about it before. I haven't heard it on YouTube, but maybe because I haven't gone looking for it, but I don't think it's like a common thing that pregnant women tell you about, and it's also because it's not as common. It's 25% of pregnant women that experience it. What it is, it's called pelvic girdle pain. I'm going to insert a little diagram over here to show you guys the areas that it affects. Basically affects your pelvic area between your thighs, your outer hips, like your sacrum bone, like basically like your butt muscle, like your tailbone, like what you sit on, and then your hips, like your lower, like middle to lower butt area. That's where it's been affecting me the most, and my pelvis. So I did start feeling that at around 11, 12 weeks. So in my early first trimester, it just wasn't as bad. I started to notice it because if I was on my feet a lot, I started to feel discomfort, and I just thought it was normal because with Anaya, I remember in the very beginning having that lower back pain, and I just assumed it was because my body is obviously getting ready for baby and my hips are widening up. But this time it kept being persistent, and it went into my second trimester, and it became really bad to the point where it's just like this persistent, constant pain that makes me really want to cry. I feel like I'm pretty good with pain, but it's just been really strong. I can probably compare the pain of what I'm feeling to a contraction as far as intensity of like the pain, like that pain level. And yeah, it's just really bad because you can't sit for long periods of time, you can't be on your feet for long periods of time. You get relief when you lay on your side and stick a pillow between your like inner thighs and knees. Okay, so my camera overheated, so it might have cut me off, but what I was saying, the only way that you can get relief from that pain is if you lay on your side. But then I noticed that since I've been trying to sleep on my side, my hips, like the outer part of my hips going down to like my outer thighs, starts to become sore, so then you just have pain all over. So that's been hard. Also because I don't want to take Tylenol. They recommend Tylenol when you're pregnant as far as like pain medication, but I just don't want to be taking that stuff. So I'm definitely going to see if my OB can refer me to, it's like a chiropractor, it's like a chiropractor, They have a different name. I'll put the name right here. They specialize in that, and I know they can help with that because right now I'm at that point where I do think I need to be referred to a specialist and get that extra help because the pain is really bad. Some days are worse than others, like on days where I'm on my feet more, or I'm picking up Anaya more, or if I have to grab her stroller or go to the grocery store, that's when I feel more of that pain at the end of the day. So it's frustrating, especially because I have a 2-year-old and I want to be there for her. I still want to be able to chase after her and play with her, pick her up, all that stuff. But yeah, guys, that is everything that I have for you guys today. That's basically been my first trimester. Very different, and I feel like this baby is already definitely testing me and like draining me. I don't know if it's because I'm older or because it is my second pregnancy that it's been a little bit harder on my body. It's not like I've had these babies back to back. I gave my body like almost a full 2 years to heal from that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a big thumbs up and like subscribe to my channel for more videos like these. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.